So another one of the great advantages to having the Racepak SmartWire in your vehicle is the ability to test things on the fly, as far as if you're not sure if something's working or you want to double check your work after you're done. So Eric, tell us a little bit about how you can do that.
So one of the neat features is you can actually, let's say you get some of your outputs hooked up and you haven't decided how you're going to trigger them, but you just want to at least test outputs, make sure that the wire connections, everything like that's good. You can actually go into your config file, assuming the programming cable's hooked up to the Racepak system and everything's powered on. You can go in here and find the channel button for the SmartWire, which is the main one. It says SmartWire number 1. You can right click on that and a window comes up. And this is some of the basic parameters of the SmartWire that you can go in here, but one of the more important features is the Start All Channel Live Data button. If you bring that up, you have a list of all your channels here, what pin they're on, the current amperage rating on it, on each channel, voltage on it, the status of each channel. But you can go in here and look at all your channels, make sure they're pinned right. You can go in here and force things on and off, just as testing. Like for instance, we can go in here and force the fan on just temporarily. One of the nice features of being able to make sure that that connection from the SmartWire unit out to your device is secure and right. Once again, you just got to be careful when you're going in here clicking on these things, because that button, it's a click on, stays on, click off to turn off. So obviously be careful if you're working with like a starter, for instance, it'll keep cranking until you click that box off again. So, but one of the nice features, you can go in here and check the status of all your channels. For instance, everything's off except I've got one wire here that's on. It's got 12 volts on it. There's no current. It's not a heavy device. It's just it's a step wire for the MSD. Actually, I've got a burnout wire hooked up to keep the RPMs down unless the race switch is up. That way there's no reason to accidentally overrev the motor for any stupid reason.
So as we keep saying, I mean, the Racepak SmartWire is so much more than just a product that helps you wire your car. I mean, it makes you wonder like why any car wouldn't have such a thing. Like, you know, how could you run it without it anymore? I mean, everybody talks about, they joke about, oh man, I can't run my car without my Racepak data logger anymore because I don't learn anything. Well, same thing with the SmartWire. I mean, with the things that you can do, it takes all the guesswork out of it, and you know, it helps you get down the track faster and in a hurry. Like we talked about, Eric went 850 in his third run.
Yeah, third run.
And I mean, this car is brand new from the ground up. So I mean, to go out there and you know make a nitrous hit and go 850 in your first weekend out is pretty stout, and just kind of goes to show you how much stuff you can learn in just one pass with a lot of the Racepak stuff.
Yeah, I built the car and I'm still impressed with myself, let's put it that way. But no, I mean, one of the nice features is the SmartWire, you can make it as easy as you want, you can make it as complicated as you want. It's as easy as turning an output on with a switch or anything. It's as complicated as making a whole line of conditions that have to become true for that output to be on. I get people that you know, mess around with shock dumps, you know, at certain points of the track. You can turn things on or off at certain points of the track.
Right.
You can, like I said, you can make it as simple or as complicated as you want. That's really, it's tailored to you. It's a tool for you to use to basically enhance your racing operation at that point. So.
Right. And let's touch a little bit about, also we haven't talked a little about that you can actually wire in your own switches to it as well if you want to do any manual overrides or anything when it comes to setting up the SmartWire as well.
Indeed, it has 12 hardwire inputs, which basically are inputs directly on the unit that you can either ground trigger or positive trigger. I have those hooked up to buttons, you know, obviously line lock buttons, trans brake buttons, any input that you want to basically bring into the system to control something. That would be how you get it wired up. In this window, you can obviously see the status of all those switches. Number 10 happens to be my neutral safety. We can confirm, yeah, the neutral, or it's in park, shifter's in park, so obviously that would be on either in park or neutral. But basically on the starter, for instance, while we're on that subject, that one particular input is a logic line in the starter output. If that condition is not true, meaning it's not in park or not in neutral, it won't let the starter kick over no matter how many times you push the button or no matter what other parameters you're triggering the starter with. So.
There you go, also safety features. So I'll show you guys a little bit of the SmartWire switch panel that Racepak offers as well, and we also offer a switch module that if you guys have your own, if you want to use a factory switch or something like that, that you know you want to make it look, you know, more relevant to that era or whatever, we allow the switch module, which does the same exact thing as our switch panel, just with different toggle switches.